The woman wakes up and is terrified by what she sees. Overnight, the front of her house has turned into a dense forest. She rushed to ask her husband what had happened. The man replied with a puzzled look on his face. Our house has always been in this forest. But the wife clearly remembered that last night she and her husband had dinner together on the grass outside the house. How could a whole forest grow overnight? The husband said she was too tired and was hallucinating, and that she would be fine after a good night's sleep. The next morning, Lisa woke up. The first thing is to rush out of the house to confirm. But this time, the entrance to the house has turned into a small hill, and there is a river under the slope. Lisa was so scared that her legs were weak, accidentally rolled down the hill into the water. Luckily, her husband arrived in time, which saved her life. When Lisa woke up, she hugged her husband and thanked him for saving her life. But her husband was shocked and said, "It never happened." Lisa touches her hair. It is completely dry. There is no sign she fell into the water. Could it all be another hallucination? The husband speculated that it could be because Lisa had just come back from death in a car accident, and her parents, who were in the car with her, were tragically killed on the spot. The double blow to her mind and body might have caused severe aftereffects. Lisa thought this explanation made sense, so she decided to stay home and rest, believing the hallucinations would disappear on their own. On the morning of the third day, she ate the breakfast prepared by her husband. Before going out, she deliberately asked him, "Is it still the forest outside our house?" Only after getting a positive answer did Lisa feel safe enough to open the door. However, the very next second, the outside turned back into the original grassland. Lisa completely broke down and sat on the ground. The scene in front of her was so real that it didn't seem like an illusion in any way. Seeing that she still couldn't let it go, her husband suggested she walk farther away before drawing any conclusions. But she didn't have to walk long before Lisa started to get dizzy. She braced herself and tried to walk back, but suddenly realized that there was a weird rope hanging from a tree. For a split second, chills ran up her spine. She then lost consciousness. When she woke up again, she was taken back to the hospital in the city by her husband. Her husband became even more convinced that her mental condition was getting worse. But after 2 days of thorough examination, the doctors found no organic lesions. In the end, they returned to the remote house. When she woke up the next day, Lisa rushed out of the house again, but this time, the door turned into a waterlogged ditch. She forced herself to calm down. Pulling out her cell phone, she took pictures of the entire scene around the house to keep as evidence. But when she showed the photos to her husband remained calm, and then he left the house under the pretext of going out to buy food. Lisa took the opportunity to call her psychiatrist friend and describe the strange experience in detail. The doctor believed this was a normal complication following severe psychological trauma, especially after learning that Lisa did not take her medication on time. The doctor was even more certain, even bluntly said, "I have long recommended that you be hospitalized, and it was your husband who insisted on taking you away early." These words caused Lisa to have doubts in her mind for the first time, but she still chose to take the medication as prescribed. Shortly afterward, her husband returned home, but Lisa noticed that he seemed to be deliberately avoiding her on the phone. When Lisa asked who he was talking to on the phone, her husband said he was counseling her about healing. Lisa thought her husband loved her. Just as she turned to pour the water, Lisa suddenly remembered that every time she drank water, her husband poured it in advance and handed it to her. Could there be something wrong with the water? And her husband only drank the blue bottle. In order to verify her suspicions, Lisa quietly switched all the red and blue water bottles in the house. But at the critical moment, her husband suddenly appeared and scared her so much that she dropped the lid on the floor. Seeing that she was about to be discovered, Lisa managed to put the lids back on at the last second. To avoid being suspected, she had to lie that she had low blood sugar. Her husband immediately started preparing food. Soon after, her husband drank the water that originally belonged to Lisa. Sure enough, it wasn't long before he began to feel tight in the chest and dizzy. The husband rushed off to the shower, saying he needed to clear his head. Taking advantage of this, Lisa rushed out of the house and pried open the floor of the house. She had to know what secrets were hidden underneath the house. It was obvious that the house didn't move at all, but the world outside the door changed every day. When she lifted the boards with great effort, the sight in front of her instantly shocked her.